Could you just tell us how are you feeling personally about the way the team's playing at the moment?
I think we're doing all right. I think we've had some ups and downs, but I think for the most part, we're playing hard, um, executing, here and there. But I think, there's some things we want to clean up. For the most part, still happy. We're in second place, so there's no need for maybe just disappointed about too much.
Do you feel like you can start dominating the league at any stage, or is that just not going to be the way that this team progresses through this season?
I mean, I think we are, poised and ready to continue to play well and go on a run here. But I think day in and day out, I don't think any team in the league is looking for me to say that they're going to get dominated. So, I'll be smart with my words here and just say I think we're ready to continue to keep taking steps forward. Like I said, we're already in pretty good shape at the moment. So I think if we continue to get better, then it'll just help things as far as the standings will go.
Is it scary to think that you could finish the season, scary for the rest of the league, that you could finish the season with a big run of home games?
Yeah, I think it's an advantage, right? I think, I was talking about this the other day. I think every team has their gripes, no matter what situation you're in. I think every team can complain about something. And that's in life, right? Like everybody, no matter who you are, can complain about something. I'm sure we can all find something to have our gripes about, but we've been on this long road trip and we're making the most of it. Scott kind of told us the best way he could that there's no more road and home games. Now we just play games. You got to get your mind around playing your best every night. You got to get yourself motivated. You have to get, find your energy, find that own spark or whatever you have to call it to get up and play and play in those tight situations.
Has it been tough on the road? And realistically, like, how long do you think you could, continue to motivate yourselves in this environment?
Yeah, I mean, it is, it is what it is. Like, this is part of the job, being adaptive and flexible. With the change of seasons, I don't think anyone 2 years ago would have thought that COVID would still kind of have the vice grip on the world that it does. But, it's the world we live in. And I don't think it's been too much of a hindrance. I think we've been playing, just as we've been playing. Obviously, it would help being home. And I would like to be back in Perth in my own apartment. But, we're making the most of it, of what we can. I'm pretty happy at the moment. I have no, glaring complaints. So I'll be looking forward to coming back to Perth, but I'm not going to use this road trip as an excuse.
Thanks, Steve.
Can you talk to us about how teams are approaching yourself at the moment? They've obviously been honing in on both you and Bryce in an attempt to get the scoring down from the Wildcats perspective. They seem to be really honing in on you in the past couple of games. What have you noticed difference?
I don't know. I think, just tighter gaps, different matchups, now it seems when we go smaller, they kind of, tend to put, keep the Antonius Cleveland's, Jack White's of me and try and hide the center on other players. But I don't know, man. I think, teams are going to have to start preparing for our whole team because, as you just saw, Mitch Norton just had 21. Luke just came off his best game of the season. So, if Bryce and I can continue to be, where the defense focus on and allow some of our other players to kind of get one-on-one matchups and open gaps, then, by all means, I hope I can continue to do that. But, I think teams, are going to continue to be creative and do what they can to try and make it harder for us in our offense to score.
Is it difficult when you're being targeted as heavily as you are at the moment? I know you are targeted most of your life, but at the moment it feels like there's a little bit of a different way they're going through it.
Yeah, I mean, every team is different, and I'm sure Sydney is going to come up with some kind of creative thing to trap me or have people in the lanes. But like that, I mean, that's when you're a scorer and you're somebody that teams are going to focus on. That's something you have to expect, right? Like, you don't. This is an example. Like, you don't ask Goulding, how is he figuring it out? Like, that's just something as a scorer you expect to happen. And, it's a sign of respect, I would assume, that you have that accountability and you have that target on your back. The team's like, we're going to stop these two guys or have, whatever the guys are on the team. So game in and game out, we go through our game plan and our practice that week, and we try to find different little gaps and different things ways that Coach Scott can use me to try and find like easier, positions for me on the court and stuff. So, I think the last couple of games have been, I want to say low shooting games, but I haven't made all my shots. But at the end of the day, real short memory, keep firing, shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot.
And what's been the discussion amongst the big blokes about the rebounding challenge that the entire team has given? You're not the biggest group going around. You're negative 34 against in rebounds in your past 3 games. It's obviously something that needs to be addressed. What have you said as a group?
Well, I mean, I guess I ask you. I mean, we're not that small. Like, if you go down the list and look, we're that much smaller than Sydney, or not Sydney. I'm sorry, but Melbourne. They have Joe. I mean, we have our whole team. We have Haji that's down there. Juk. The 4 is my height, and you go up. Caleb is not that big. Golding doesn't rebound, and Dellavedova crashes, but he's not a big. I love this narrative that we're not that big, but we're the same size as every team. We just don't rebound. We haven't rebounded yet. So you can watch that. We're the same size as everybody else. We just got to rebound better.
And how do you rebound better? We'll ask you in that way then.
Man, I mean, Scott's, I guess, blocking out. I mean, Scott's been on me pretty heavily this week about blocking out and just making sure a lot of the guys I'm on aren't flying in there, crashing. I know Jack White got a big putback dunk in the game against us, and that was 100% my fault. So I think taking care of what I can take care of, I can't speak for my other teammates at the direct moment, but, putting some onus on myself. I know I can block out and make sure I can clear out space for my teammates. So if I don't get it, at least the 4-man, the Cooks or Martin, whoever's running in there, trying to get those putbacks or those rebounds and second chances aren't getting them.
Yeah, just Vic, on those the gaps between games, playing so few games at the moment. Obviously had the big layoff earlier in the year, but how hard is that, to find consistency considering, it's been a bit of a trend, the up and down kind of nature, big quarters, low scoring quarters. Is that, contributing to struggling to find that consistency?
No, I don't think so. I would have loved to have played more games. I mean, we were stuck in Tasmania for, a month, and we didn't play Tasmania one time in that month. We didn't play New Zealand once. So there's a lot we could say, right? Like I could sit here and go through my gripes, right? Like everybody, I could go through the list of it, but you deal with it as you can deal with it, right? And at the moment, we're pissed about it because we're sitting on this loss for however many days we're doing it. But if we won, then maybe we'd be talking about something different, right? So I think there's gonna definitely come a period where we're playing, 4 games in like 10 days or whatever, or 8 days. And I hope you have the same question of, are you guys on fire now because you're playing games so quickly? So hopefully it turns, but I wouldn't use that as an excuse. Now that we have the time, it's time for us to get our bodies right, mentally get prepared, get locked in, and, get focused on Sydney Kings.